I'm going to take you guys on a little tour of what I learned at Mitchell Broome's house about blackworms and give you a little sneak peek of his fish room. It was pretty amazing. These are his show tanks. I absolutely love the racks that he put up, and let's get into the fish because these things were amazing. Some of the most beautiful shiners I've ever seen in my life. You wouldn't even think that there's a strong flow going through there because they can handle it so well. When I was finishing admiring those tanks, I was able to go down and actually see his fish room. His racks alone are very impressive. I was amazed on how thin the wood is that he uses. All the plumbing he has going on for his automatic water change is amazing, including his 3D printed overflows. If you don't know, he's designed all these 3D printed items himself, including the breeder rings. I'll put a link in the description to his store so you can see everything he carries. I love the waterline clips. They're just genius. And also the overflow to keep the lines from blowing off the tank when it comes on. They're definitely needed. So let me show you a few of the different quarries and fish that I saw while I was there. Everything from dwarf cichlids to shrimp, you name it, he had it. If you don't know what these killifish are, they're the meanest little killifish you will ever see in your life. They're called Mentos. They're a tiny little fish with some attitude. That thing would have bit my hand the minute I put it in the tank. So he had about 6 or 7 tanks of those killifish, and you name the quarry, and he had it going and breeding and looking amazing. I am not a big quarry person myself, so I'm not even going to pretend to know what half of these quarries are. But even for somebody like me that doesn't really keep quarries, I was very impressed with the stock that he had. He had some beautiful fish. He had several different tanks of shiners, and these guys, the minute you walk past them, that male was so fired up, it stood out through all the fish. I saw that thing from across the room, and I knew I had to try to get a video of it so everybody can see it. It cooperated a lot more than the killifish that I could barely get a picture of. And I'm not one for good photography, so please bear with me. I tried my best. I'm kind of surprised I even remembered to pull out my phone and take a few pictures and videos. And you can kind of see the sponge filter. He 3D printed the insert. That was really neat. And the whiptails that he had, these were gorgeous whiptails. That's mommy and daddy. I really love the look of that tank. So before I get into how he was keeping blackworms, I'll show you a few more quarries I was able to film. I even got an inside tip. These new quarries, they breed underneath leaves, so putting leaves in there triggers them to spawn. Now, a few more cool gadgets that I saw around. The plumbing was still amazing. He 3D printed and designed his own baby brine shrimp hatchery. This one probably inspired me the most. I spent half of my day looking for my turkey baster. I'll save so much time with this. This was another one of my favorite things. He 3D prints these little shelves. I loved it so much. Yeah, I had to come home with one, and I am adoring this thing. It is perfect. I can put all my testing equipment there and go to town with the blackworms. This was my next favorite thing that I saw, and I came home with a handful of these. They're little clips to hold your breeding mops. So what makes this little thing so special is you flip them around and it turns into a little clip. But the best part about this is you just clip your mop and throw it in the water and it floats on the top. I used to use bobbers. This is way better. He made little holders for submersible pumps so you can put a sponge in it and it turns it into a filter. Now, this one is crazy because anybody that's ever kept shrimp knows how hard it is to catch shrimp. Well, not if you have a trap. He 3D printed these also. And if you don't want much water movement from your filter, he got you covered there too. I don't know how many people make their own tanks, but if you ever tried to buy a frame, it's crazy expensive. So he's 3D printing them too. So now let's get to the blackworm part. He pulled out this tray and I knew exactly what it was before he even said anything. I don't think he remembered what it was. It's a pizza dough tray. I spent my childhood working in a carryout, so I don't know if that was just a flashback memory or some PTSD. Either way, I thought it was brilliant, and this just proves that you can pretty much keep blackworms in anything. He drilled an overflow on the end and had constant water pumping in and trickling from a 40-gallon breeder. He then had it piped down from the bottom back into the 40-gallon breeder to then filter and be recycled. A system like this, you could pipe it together to have several in a line and make it almost like a flow-through tray. He also had some ICB totes that he wasn't using for blackworms, but I thought would be perfect for blackworms. I'm going to do a whole separate video just on how to set up that ICB tote style because I think it will be perfect for doing them on large scales. I'll put all Mitchell's information in the description. Check out his YouTube channel, check out his Etsy shop. You can buy some of those 3D printed items yourself if you like them. And don't forget to follow the food experiment going on right now. You don't want to miss to see what's the best thing to feed to your blackworms.